Welcome to Dental Unscripted, where Mike Dinzio and Paula Quinn break down the practice ownership journey, one episode at a time. Starting up, buying, and running a successful dental practice.
Welcome back, guys. Hey, another episode of Dental Unscripted in the middle, kind of towards the end of Dental Shark Bite Week, B-Y-T-E, Bite Week. We're super excited about this week. We've interviewed and had some fun with some amazing people up to this point, and we've got more amazing people like today.
Oh, Shelly, is that what you're saying?
Like today. Yeah, thank you for liking, subscribing, following, all the things. My name is Mike Dinzio. We also have Paula Quinn, and we are your co-hosts. And thanks again for joining in. Paula, do you want to tee off today's episode or our amazing person today that we are interviewing? Yeah.
So we have Shelly Mendoza here, VP of Enterprise Solutions at Denti AI. Am I saying that right? I'm going to let you tell them a little bit about yourself. Don't go. You're like me. We've got a long history of dental experience. Don't go back too far. But why don't you just quickly introduce yourself, what you do at Denti AI, and then we'll really dive into what that is. And it's awesome.
Multiple things.
My most exciting thing this week. So
yeah, so I've been in the dental industry for 25 plus years. Started my career as a dental assistant a long time ago. And then taught dental assisting, went to hygiene school, managed everything from a solo to emerging DSO practices. So have a pretty solid foothold in how the dental industry works and what it's like to be in the trenches with the dentist, hygienist, and assistants.
So she kind of knows what she's talking about, basically.
A little bit.
Yeah. Sounds like a minute.
When we met, we were so parallel. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Your backgrounds are the same.
Yeah, literally. Back even to dental assisting, and I'll kind of briefly just talk about this product, but obviously I don't know it anything like Shelly. But when the Florida probe has been around for a while. I wouldn't say that in my career that I've seen it even integrated in very many offices. I'm sure it is, but this by far blew me away. I was excited. There's been two products. One was Dental Intel. I'm like, Medento, the engagement side. I was like, where has this been my whole life when I finally brought it into my practice? And then this product, I'm like, where has this been my whole life? So for all you dentists out here that have your hygienist complaining, I won't use the word bitching, which is what we do. We're really good at it, by the way. For all you dentists that are listening and hygienists, here is the solution we've been looking for. I'm telling you. This is AI Perio Charting, and I'm going to let Shelly do it justice. But what I loved the most about it is, well, there's a long list of things, and I'll back up, but I'm just going to say them right now, is hygienist, if we perio chart, if we are probably not doing all the measurements, we're taking shortcuts to get every little bleeding point, to get exudate, mobility, everything that we're supposed to get, especially at that baseline. Unless we have a partner in crime, and even then I see hygienists all the time skipping over recession, skipping over things. If we perio chart, are we perio charting at the frequency that we should? Are we getting all the measurements that we should? And how much are we cross-contaminating that operatory? There's so many bad things that are happening. Not to mention, I always say, I say this in every office because, up until this, I say, gosh, if you can get an assistant in there, you can do this in 5 minutes versus 20, 30 minutes. So this is like a time saver. And then I will let you talk about the staging and grading component, which most hygienists that I run into don't do that either. So I love that this gives them a stepping stone to at least put something in there for the clinical notes, so the insurance pays for it, so that the patient, has some understanding. So that was a lot. Everyone's like, what is she talking about?
Does Paula work for Denti AI right now?
He does now.
I am not sure.
So-
Shelly, are we interviewing her or is she interviewing you? I'm totally confused.
So let's back up now. I had to get that out. I don't know if you want to start with why it was developed.
Yeah.
It just give us your elevator speech of what this product does and is.
Well, and thank you for all of that and for pre-selling it for me.
Yeah, it's over. Episode over.
Yeah. What else do I have to add to this? So
no, you're going to go into detail right now.
Really, if we go back, like we used to spend a copious amount of time with our patients. We had an hour and a half when they first came into the dental office. And now over the years, that time is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. So when you look at why we're not, as a hygienist, getting all of the information we need, it's because we just don't have the time anymore. So this allows the hygienist to plot a full perio chart in 3 to 5 minutes. We don't have to go looking for a dental assistant. A dental assistant can be doing all the things that they need to be doing to keep us productive and moving
They
through our.
ignore us anyway, Shelly. They ignore us.
I'm not here to like totally, spill all the secrets, but yes. Yeah. So by voice, there's a tiny little microphone. It's about the size of a nickel. You can wear it on your neck. And then, of course, call out all of your pocket depths in that line when you're going along the buckle, probing your pocket depths. You see bleeding pop up. You say bleeding, interproximal, tooth number 3, percation, separation. So it really allows you to be efficient. And on top of that, you have the ergonomics of a hygienist and a dentist. We're constantly turning our back and our neck, and that takes its toll over time. Touching everything. So with this, you're staying in that one spot to keep your back in line and with your neck. So ergonomically speaking, yes. We're even seeing a lot of all the way up to our DSOs are hitting out of the gate within 30 days, 8 times ROI on this product alone, because you're boosting your productivity in the chair. You're not waiting for anybody. And then also your patients are accepting treatment a whole lot faster and easier because we have a visual aid that shows the patient, this is where you are in your periodontal health. This is why. Shows bleeding spots, shows on a gradient scale where they're at visually. And then for the hygienist, like you said, you don't have to calculate bleeding percentages anymore. You don't have to figure out which stage and grade. It's all done for you. For the front desk side of it, insurance companies hate paying for gingivitis code alone. So you're going to see an instant boost in production with that, because you can attach this to your claim form and send that off to the insurance companies that proves that it's at 30%. So you're upping your production immediately with your Profi or SRPs plus gingivitis code.
Yeah. And you mentioned, the ROI on it. I think a lot of it is just simply that you're completing it, which is you can diagnose right the first time. I can't tell you how many times, you think somebody's healthy, they look amazing, they're young, vibrant, you get in there and you're halfway in because you didn't do a full perio charting and you're like, well, shit, here we go. All right.
What happened here?
We're going to do SRP today because I'm already in and I didn't explain that. And, or gingivitis therapy, I probably wouldn't mistake a complete perio therapy, but a gingivitis therapy for sure. So I love that. There's so many things to this, but let's back up to the staging and grading and just kind of, maybe because you can't do a demo right now, just kind of tell them, because I feel like kind of explain that to me a little bit too, how this gets you even 90% there, maybe 100% there, but there might be times where there could be something that you need to add, right? And then I don't know if you want to segue right into the note annotation, because I love that part of it too.
You guys are getting so dorky here. I love it.
It's clinical.
It's not the first time I've been called dorky in my life. So, So we leave it open. You are the clinician. You make the final diagnoses. So we calculate the pocket depth, gingival margin, the bleeding sites. We calculate all of that in to that initial stage. On there, wherever that, so if it's stage 3, you can just click it into a different stage because, again, you're making that final diagnoses. So you can change that. For the grading portion, we generally default to B. We can't read the medical history at this point, so we can't tell if it's rapid or slow progression. So you also have the option to change that. And then so do you have more questions on that part of it before I say?
No, I think it's just great, but I teach staging and grading all the time, and it's a really scary thing for hygienists because they feel like they're going to do it wrong. And I think this is great because it gets you mostly there. And then I think, I always say, look, staging and grading, absolutely 100%. I want you to get it right. But what I want more than anything is, the patient to reap the reward of their benefits. I want the insurance company to get this. But then also, if that feels like a stage 3 grade B to you, the next time you see that patient, you, based on what you felt that would be able to tell if they progress. You know what I mean? So it is important to get it accurate, but I don't want them to get paralyzed by that whole staging grading thing. So that's what I loved about this is it gets them there. And if it is what they rely on a majority, because most aren't even doing it at all.
Well, that's the thing is most people aren't doing it because they don't have the time. It's especially our DSOs, they're cutting that time down to 50 minutes. Get it done. If you can't, not my problem. Figure out a way to make it happen. And so as a hygienist, you're cutting corners to get to that 50 minutes. But if you have this that allows you to complete a full perio chart in 3 to 5 minutes, and then you're able to present that treatment to your patient with a visual aid. Before, we've had this, we've always done this in dentistry. I call it the forever problem. There's so much manual work, but hygienists are taking 10, 15 minutes to prep a patient. This is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to check your pocket depths. Anything you hear a 4 and above, it's a red flag. And as they're saying this, the patient is like mind blown. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand what a 4 millimeter pocket depth means. What does furcation separation mean? So at the end of that, if we reserve some of that, I'm going to do an exam. You're going to hear me call out some numbers, but I'm going to show you at the end of this exam what that means. Now we're actually informing them and educating them a whole lot better than we could before on what their periodontal health looks like, as opposed to hearing numbers that mean nothing to them. So it's good for you. It's good for the patient. And of course, good for our production at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love too, you mentioned at the beginning that, you have the microphone around here. I know that hygienists listening know why that's important, but let's tell the dentist why that is important, that microphone can either magnetize on something or be word here. Why is that important, Shelley?
Well, frankly, we don't need any more crap on our head. We wear so much PPE already. It's just annoying.
It's
loops and masks and shields and all this stuff. It's so nice to just have something hanging from your neck, literally the size of a nickel. You're not having to worry about another piece on your head. And with being able to magnetize it somewhere, don't even worry about wearing it. It's there when you're ready. Just hit the button and now you're recording all of that information.
Nice. And then a little bit about, I don't remember, obviously. It sounds like I remember everything, but I don't. I know there was the doctor side with the existing tooth charting and annotating the clinical notes so that you put them in your, and by the way, the Perio Charting goes right into the practice management software.
Oh yeah. It's not 2 separate programs. We're integrated with all practice management. So it goes directly into the Perio chart in your practice management.
How did we miss that in this whole?
Sorry, that's a big one.
No, that's awesome. So
I thought I covered it all, and then I threw her off her game.
So it's verbal commands, right? That's what we're talking about. And is there like a training, or is it just like how do you get good at like talking the way you want them to talk?
Yeah. So there's about 5 different I call them navigational commands: jump, undo, repeat, very simple words. We have a training university. Everybody that completes it earns 1.5 CE credits for completing that. When they're done with that, they can easily start using the program, but we also provide live training. So we jump on a Zoom call. Our trainers are mostly hygienists as well, so they really help them with this new workflow. They've used it in practices as well. So we have across the range. We have hygienists who have been practicing for 30 years and their way is the best way and they don't need technology to help them. So sometimes we need to help with a little bit of a new workflow. We have fresh out of school that are just dying to get their hands on new technology. So it's a really simple, smooth training program that they're well prepared for out of the gate.
Right.
How long have you all been around?
About 4 years, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
And the Perio Charting the whole time, or is this a new?
So we actually started with imaging AI. Our CEO and founder went to the dentist. This is how we were born. Went to the dentist, and I believe it was an extraction or a root canal that they did it on the wrong tooth, the wrong side. So he's like, seems like there's a need for something to help these dentists with diagnoses. So we started with imaging AI. A very large DSO organization came to us and said, we need help with perio. So there was born our voice perio charting. And then seeing the trends and so many of us are from the dental space that we're like, how do we fix the note-taking portion now? Because that also takes up hours in our day. So about a year ago, we started with the Scribe technology, and that's the one, same microphone, little tiny thing. You have this conversation with your patient as a hygienist, a provider. A DA comes in, seats the patient, and asks if there's any changes to their medical history, medications. That's all captured now. So this conversation that we have is summarized in a very technical manner, put into a template or a SOAP note. And that, again, also saves directly into their practice management, which, again, like accuracy, the timing of it, you're not spending 2 hours after your day is over trying to remember what happened at 9 o'clock in the morning to finish your notes. So we have that. It's got referral letters in it. The other cool thing we just added to it is auto charting. So this, for a large case, it could take 20 minutes. And I've seen many dental assistants writing it down on the side on a piece of paper, MOD on 2, 3 MOD, 4 needs a D, this whole thing.
Oh, I've seen that so much in my lifetime.
Frustrating. So this is 100% accuracy, comes right out of the horse's mouth, right into the software. And then it takes that treatment plan and pushes it to the odontogram and Dentrix, all of the leading practice management software. So immediate charting, you're not waiting 20 minutes to have to put a treatment plan together and then take it to your treatment coordinator.
So like what I'm hearing is a lot of efficiency, as a non-hygienist, that's not even a doctor. So let's talk about that. What do you two ladies, I'll ask you both since Paula apparently works for Denti AI as well. What do you two ladies, what do you see as the financial impact to a practice for a solution like this? Let's let Shelly first answer and then we'll give it back to Paula.
Financial impact is unlimited in my opinion at this point. I mean, obviously, if we're seeing just with voice perio and 8 times ROI, that's insane. You couldn't prove that before with your super hygienist. Like, we knew they were producing, but how do we put that in the number? I feel like Scribe has tangible and intangible ROIs attached to it. You're not paying overtime for people to stay over and do clinical notes anymore.
Oh, I hear that all the time. It's one of the biggest complaints. The hygienist is staying forever. She's staying up for 30 minutes. I'm like, she has to stay after 30 minutes.
Yeah, we got to have the documentation, but at this point, you're not paying for that. So really the financial impact is across the board, and you've got happier, more long-term employees at this point. So you're not flipping through hygienists and hiring a new one every 3 months because they're burnt out. They don't have time to do the appointment itself and then time at the end of the day to do all of their notes. So the financial impact is just huge.
So is it the time on the clock that's the biggest impact, or is it also the claims being approved at a higher rate? Is it also like if we layered all the things, obviously time is the biggest one, the biggest waste, the time. But you could have a pretty hardcore dentist say, get off the clock, you should have stuck with it. And then is there no impact then? Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like
they're not going to get paid because they're not going to have accurate clinical notes.
Yeah.
I mean,
right. So is it claims also? Like that's what I'm trying to get
100%. It's that backup to what we've been doing all along. You know, you've got the visual part of it that you can print out and send with the claim. I think that you've got patient acceptance because they can see it visually. I think you've got hygienists actually diagnosing right because they have the time back or the efficiency back to do it and realize that this patient does have periodontal disease or gingivitis. So I think it just starts with diagnosing correctly. I think, you know, Shelly's 100% right. Burnout. You get to a point where you're like, you know, like, I'm just going to do it again. I can't do this again. I can't have this conversation. I can't, you know, so, you know, it's across the board, I think, a huge impact. I don't know, Shelly.
No, I agree. It really impacts everything across the board. It's a one solution. We have all of these moving parts in a dental office, and bringing AI into it now to boost our efficiency is like why wouldn't you at this point when we're hiring multiple people? I remember one office, I had one front desk person who was solely dedicated to confirming appointments, checking insurance, getting the attachments to the insurance claims and the notes. And I've got dental assistants running back and forth across a large practice all day long where I needed them to get a room flipped or 3 rooms flipped. We've got it narrowed down that this financial impact is across the board, the dentist, the DA, the front desk, and again, the ergonomics of it and longevity of keeping your employees, which is also very costly to, you know, someone gets burnt out and you've got to hire a new one. And that's impactful on the practice itself.
I was in an office the other day and the hygienist was dictating the Perio Charting into a microphone, you know, a tape recorder. And I thought to myself, she's now got to go back at some point today and listen to all of those and get those numbers. How are you going to do that? And you did that on how many patients today? I mean, one of my friends and I hung out this weekend and we used to log in from home at night unpaid and do our clinical notes because
I hear that far too often.
It's
sad.
You know, and I mean, I'm sure if I would have told my employer there could have, but it was, I felt inefficient and not good enough. Like I was like, I want these to be accurate. So I wanted to get the hell out of there. You know, I'm like, oh my God, I've been here all day. I've already done, I need to get out of here. So I'd rather sit and veg and watch TV and get my crap in, you know, so, which isn't good for anybody, you know? So this is just amazing.
Wow.
I wish she could do a demo.
Paula, do you want to get back into hygiene and quit consulting?
No, she wants to be in sales with me now.
Oh, I forgot. That was announced earlier today. That's great. That's great. Well, Shelly, this is super cool. We would love to put some specifics about how to get a hold of you and maybe schedule a demo.
Sure.
We would also love, for you to hook up our audience and clients in a special way. And if there's a discount you can give them, that'd be great. But all that will be below. Listeners, reach out to Shelly, set up a demo, and make sure you tell them that you came from our program. And
so
with that,
two things. I mean, I'd want to know: is there anything we missed, Shelly, that that was fast and furious? Is there anything we missed, or you want to highlight of this, software and what it can do?
I really think we did a good job of covering it. Of course, with your sales experience.
You both did. You both did.
And then if you want to ask her,
Shelly,
that's great.
To put a wrap on this episode, we've been ending it with asking every person that we talk to is like, how is technology going to change our little dental world in the next 2 years? And I asked 2 years because that's actually not that long from now. And I think a lot of tech is being is changing. And this whole week is about AI and more efficient and more production and all of these amazing things, right? And it's happening fast. And so in the next 2 years, how do you predict our little world be changed?
Drastically. I kind of revert back a little story here. I remember when I was stuck in the stinky rooms with the dip tanks for film, and we went to phosphor plates after that, and dentists would say, I'm never going to move from a film because there's nothing better than that. And then we went from phosphor plates to digital sensors, and there's I don't know anybody that's using either of those anymore.
I do.
Oh, okay. Give them my number quickly. Okay. So I think it is that evolution. Doctors, the staff are learning that they can trust AI. I mean, we use it in so much of our life already on our cell phones and everything that we do. They're learning to trust the AI. And I think with that trust is going to grow the amount of efficiencies that they need to get into their offices. So I see AI being in every aspect of medical and dental industries at this point, and it's going to dramatically change the way that we do dentistry for the better. We can give better patient care. We can have our claims paid in a better, quicker, timely manner. It's just affecting all areas and aspects of the dental practice in a tremendous way.
That's awesome. That's a great answer. And so it's interesting because you said you started about 3 years ago-ish, right? That was you?
3 years ago?
3.
No, this solution, Denti.
Oh, yeah. So about 4 years ago now.
4 years.
I didn't start it, but yeah.
Like 3.
Yeah,
I thought he was being funny.
Yeah, no. So 4 years ago, you started playing with this idea, AI, and you've been, you work for an AI company. What's interesting is that like AI is just now being used to the common folk, right? It's been being played with, and I still remember the first time someone introduced it to me at dinner. Actually, Paula was there, and that was years ago. Like it, but right now, it's just really impacting our world. So I think in the next 2 years, it's going to look totally different.
I'm actually proud of dentistry because usually we're way behind. We're like. We are like usually 10 or so
10 years behind. Yeah.
So I'm kind of impressed that and I know in other aspects, but really it's really becoming huge, and dentistry's already taken a hold of it. So I'm really proud of us.
You are proud of us. That's great. Well, with that being said, Paula's proud and works for Denti AI, and Shelly was a great
works for Denti AI.
well, apparently I need a new coach, so let's talk after the episode.
Got it.
And we'll talk soon. But thanks so much for your time, and we appreciate you. And folks, get a hold of Shelly and let's get some demos scheduled. All right, talk to you guys.
Shelly, I was just so excited. I
love it. I appreciate this. This was a great time.
It was perfect. All right, ladies, great to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Let us know how you like the show. Rate us on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe and follow for more.